Hey guys, it's Michelle. Today I'm kind of really bored and I wanted to talk to somebody, so I decided you guys were going to be the unfortunate ones to talk to me. But anyway, I think that today I'm just going to go ahead and talk about how you can progress yourself and how you can better yourself and make yourself feel better about yourself, if that makes sense. So yeah. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and tell my story and see if my story might help you or encourage you to do better or make different life choices. So first off, my life has been crazy just because I've made it crazy, but I think that's okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off like in the beginning of my life. So when I was a little girl, I was very cooperative and very giddy and weird and loud and fun and stuff, and that's still how I am. But I was making good choices, and whenever I would make a bad decision or do something wrong, I'd tell on myself. So like that didn't help me, but at the same time it did because it made my mom realize that maybe that's how I would be my entire life, and in this case I wasn't. But yeah, my whole elementary school, I was a pretty good kid. Fourth grade, I had gotten a referral because I had brought a cap gun to school and was playing like cops and robbers with kids. And the teacher took it away from me and put it on her desk and said, "We will talk about this tomorrow," because it was a sub. And I was like, fuck no, I am not going to be talking about this with anybody. So while she was reading a book to the other kids, I went ahead and took the cap gun off of her desk and kept it. And the next day they gave me a referral and I got to sit in the office all day. But like that was really all the trouble that I had gotten in. I was bullied most of the time I was at that school. I was too short. I was too fat. I was a chubby little girl. I was different, but it wasn't like I had a really, really bad life. My stepdad walked into my life when I was 4, and I did not appreciate him, and he was not the best person in the world, to me at least. I started acting out a lot more towards like the end of elementary school just because he would treat me like shit. And I remember, this is fucking disgusting and I don't know why I'm telling you this to everybody, but like I used to like not think that wiping was like what is that fucking word, required. And so I'd like take shits and then not wipe when I was like little. This is like when I was little, so don't worry about now because bitch, you already know I'm clean as hell. But yeah, I used to like have like shit streaks in my fucking underwear because I was nasty ass hoe. And I went ahead and I don't remember what I did, but my stepdad was like, "Okay, we're hanging these up in your room and you're gonna sit in a room full of underwear that are dirty." And he used to like put us in the corner and make us hold books and shit. I'm so sorry guys, I don't know why I'm coughing so much lately. But like it was just not a very good place to be, and I didn't like him at all. And then we had my little sister, and in the very beginning, like, I did not fucking like her because she took all the attention away from me. And I became the middle child, you know what I mean? But, like, that's okay. It was whatever. 7th grade hit, and my biological father had emailed me. And I just wanted to let you guys know, I do not know my father. I have had occasional conversation with him a little while ago just to get to know him and stuff, but other than that I do not know him at all. Like I have never met him or anything. And I had gotten an email from him, and at the very end it said, "I hope to see that you call me your father one day. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are you doing this shit? Like, don't pull this petty ass shit. And I got really, really, really depressed. I met this girl, and we'll call her Jasmine. And she was very depressed. She did not want to live life anymore. And at that point, I was a follower, and I kind of just started going down that road and reading really depressing books and listening to really depressing music. And I started cutting, and my mom hadn't known about it. She thought that I was perfectly fine. I'm sorry, like, it's kind of a awkward subject, but it was very different. And my mom had gotten a call from the counselors, and we had a meeting and we talked about it, and it freaked my mom out a bit. And oh my god, I don't know how my mother dealt with me for that long. Like, it was, I was really bad. And I finally went to a mental hospital, and that mental hospital did not help at all. It was almost like a vacation for me, and I didn't have to go to school and stuff, and like I didn't really worry about anything else. 7th grade ended. The rest of the 7th grade year, I was pretty good. I was kind of depressed, but other than that, I was doing pretty damn good. And then 8th grade hit, and I met a couple people that I probably shouldn't have been hanging out with and talking to, or associating myself with. And I started getting into drugs and kind of just throwing my life away because I thought that it would make me cool and it would numb everything that I had gone through and had been going through. And it didn't really help at all. My stepdad and my mother had gotten separated, and they were getting in the middle of divorce. And me and my brother were really happy about it. Of course, my little sister was a lot more upset about it because it was her dad. I mean, she wasn't living with her father, And I got really suicidal, and I would pop pills, and I would smoke weed, and I would do whatever, like, the fuck I wanted, And so I went ahead, and I had gotten a foot surgery, and they had given me some morphine pills, and I told my friends about them. They were like, yo, you should bring them to school. And I was like, oh, alright, like, shit, that's cool. So I took a whole bunch of morphine pills. My ex-girlfriend wanted some. What's her face? I don't even remember what the fuck I called her in the very beginning of the video. Or Jasmine. She wanted some, so I gave her some. A couple of my friends wanted some, so I gave them some. And we all got really, really, really sick. And at that time, I was doing really good, and my mom was earning trust for me, and she was letting me stay home by myself and stuff. Like, I was finally living a normal life, and I started messing up again. And I knew I was doing wrong, but I didn't think that I was going to be caught. So I went ahead and I called my mom, and I was like, hey, can you pick me up? I don't feel good at all. She's like, yeah. So I get home, and I'm like throwing up, and I'm really dizzy, and I just lay down and pass out. The next time I wake up, the police are at my door, and they said, is Michelle here? I come to the door, and they're like, we got a report. They said that they had gotten a report of me taking 8 morphine pills. I didn't take 8 morphine pills. I don't know where they got that number. But, yeah, I had taken 8 morphine. They said that I had taken 8 morphine pills. I said, no, that wasn't true. Like, I'm sorry, that's not right. And they were like, okay, We apologize for interrupting anything. I'm sorry you're not feeling good. Thank you for your cooperation. We'll leave now. Then the school calls my mother and tells her about it. And at first, like, she was believing me and everything that I said, because what the counselors were saying at first was not true. And then finally they kept on, like, a couple kids were acting different, 2 have been sent to the hospital. And my mom looks at me and she's like, what did you do? And I just told her everything, and she was like, I'm calling the police on you. So she called the police, and the police picked me up, and we went to the hospital, and they checked me, they arrested me, and then we went into the psych eval because of my past, and they were talking to us, and the guy that was helping us out, or the guy that was interviewing me to see what had happened, said that I took them because I wanted to commit suicide with my ex-girlfriend. And I walked out to go to the bathroom later that night, and my ex-girlfriend was in the room next to me. So she had told them that I had taken these pills to kill myself with her because we loved each other so much. And that was not the case. I was just doing it because I was a stupid-ass bitch and was like, let's get high, you know? And so they're like, we're going to put you in a mental hospital. I had gone to Centennial Peaks that time, and it was amazing. They helped me a lot. It was an eye-opener. It wasn't a vacation that time. I actually got a lot of help. I stayed longer than I should have the last time I had gone. And it was just, it helped me out a lot. And it was a getaway, but at the same time, they actually were worried about how you felt and what were you doing and what was going on in your life and in your head. And so I got released from that, and my mom, they were very down on me, and they were very upset with me, and I was a very emotional girl at that time just because they had given me meds in that hospital, and I knew how I had fucked up everything, and that there was no taking any of it back. My 9th grade year hit. Oh, and that whole 8th grade year, I think I had 2 months left, and I was suspended, so I could not go back. But my 9th grade year hit, and my mom enrolled me in an alternative school, and this alternative school is called McLean High School. And I met a lot of amazing people there. It was great. I stayed straight. I was doing good. I kept everything to myself because I didn't want to get in trouble again. So I did really good my 9th grade, the very beginning of my 9th grade year. I was there for a whole semester, and then 8th grade year hit, 8th grade, and then that end of the semester, my mom decided me to switch to Golden High School. And my brother did not want me going there because he didn't like me very much because of the mistakes I had made, and he thought that I was just going to cause shit for him too. So my 9th grade year, I didn't really do anything. I did good. I didn't have the best grades, but I did good. And then my 10th grade year hit, and this is where things started turning to shit. I met this girl named Janae, let's just call her that, and she was a very ghetto girl. She was a very ratchet girl, if that's what you want to call her. And I thought that it would be cool to hang out with her because she was one of the popular kids, and she was well known, and she slept around and all of that. And I was like, oh, lit, like, I can finally fucking be with this girl. She's fucking hot, like, all of this shit. And I started doing a lot of drugs, and I met my boyfriend Cody, my ex-boyfriend Cody, and I didn't fall in love with him, but I thought that I had, and he started fooling around with Janae, and that ended everything. And I had lost my best friend at this point, and because of Kaylee and because of her boyfriend, and I didn't like her boyfriend, so I was like, I'm done. And I was not a very good person, and I don't know, I just made constant decisions that were not trustworthy. And I kind of got around him for a long time. My mom had no idea. She thought that I was doing good. She didn't think anything was happening. Like, I was good. And, like, I thought, hey, like, I can get away with it. This is okay. Like, I'm good, you know? And, I had gotten stuck in Denver. That's a story time I can tell. I had gotten stuck in Denver. I had, been touched in places I didn't want to be touched in by certain guys. Like, there's a lot of things that had happened when I was friends with Janae. And, I just thought that it was okay. All of it was okay because she had done all of it, you know? Like, if she can do it, I can do it, you know? And, I was getting into vaping, and I took one of my friend's vape pens off of her, and I walked off campus and started smoking it. Somebody had taken a picture of me and given it to the assistant principal. At the time, I did not know that it was illegal to vape in the city of Golden. And so I was brought into the assistant principal's office, and I was very intoxicated. And she looked at me and she was like, I have proof that you were smoking out of a vape pen, and I have turned it over to the cops because I'm not sure what to do with it, so they can deal with it. So I went ahead and I was like, okay. And my mom was calling me after the assistant principal had called her. And she was like, now I gotta tell my job that Michelle fucked up again. Like, what the fuck, Michelle? And I was like, shit. Like, I actually did fuck up. And I didn't want to go home because I knew something really fucking bad was gonna happen. And so I called up Tyreek. Let's just call him that. And I said, can you pick me up? I'm not going home tonight. He was like, yeah, sure. My brother picks me up from school. He picks my little sister up from school. He takes my phone. And Tyreek was like, you need to hurry up. And my brother's like, who is this? Like, why is he saying this? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, don't ask me, you know? Like, everything was fine and dandy. Like, I thought I had it all fucking figured out. And so he's like, okay, whatever. So we go to the house, and he's making me clean. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That's fair. So I'm sweeping. And he goes, make sure you get under that cabinet. And I looked at him, and at the time, since I, like, was clearly on drugs, I looked over at him, and I was like, why the fuck am I listening to you? You are not my father. Like, you do not tell me what to do. You are not in charge of me. You need to stop. And he was like, right now, I'm in charge of you. I'm the older one here, and I have to babysit my fucking 15-year-old sister. Like, this is pathetic, Michelle. Seriously, just stop. I was like, no, I'm not fucking doing it. So he pushed me on the ground, and I got up, and I called 911 on him. And my mom told all of us to leave. So we left. We called my grandpa, and my grandpa was like, do you need to come here? And he was like, no, I guess not. So we come to the house. My mom gets there before we do. And I get out of the car, and I start walking up to the house. She grabs my hand. She goes, do you want to call the cops on somebody? If you want to call the cops on somebody, call the cops on me. And she kept on pulling my hair, and she headbutt me. And she was like, I cannot believe your fucking actions. I don't want you here anymore. Like, I'm so fucking done with you. Like, you're gonna turn out just like your fucking dad. You're gonna be a disappointment. You're a fucking liar. Like, all this shit. Like, because she was mad. And I was just returning all of it. We got in a huge fight, and my grandpa came out, and my mom said, I don't want her here anymore. Like, can you take her? And he was like, yeah. So my grandpa took me in. He was very nice. He gave my phone back within a month. He took care of me, and he has been taking care of me still. It has been a year since I have moved here. March 9th was the day that I had gotten in trouble. And I have been doing a lot better here. I've gotten in trouble a couple times. I had gotten suspended the first week I had ever gone to school for vaping on the school bus. I I have been caught with weed a couple times. It's just, I am a very strong-headed person, and I do what I want to do, and when I sound like something might be fun, I'm going to do it. And I have learned now that, like, I am a lot stronger than I used to be, and I can tell myself now that, hey, Michelle, you don't look bad. Like, you don't look ugly. Like, right now I'm wearing makeup because today I was like, it's not that bad. Like, this one fucking gigantic zit gets in the way. But, you know, like, you need to be confident in yourself, and you need to feel pretty, and just, you need to be able to be yourself, or you're not going to get anywhere. I wasn't myself until this year, and I finally am seeing the light. I am making friends that accept me, not the old Michelle that wanted to impress people. I have people that see me in different ways. This is now this is my fourth school. Since I started high school, I'm a junior. And it is just, I have found a lot more confidence in myself, and the way I act, and the way I present myself, and the way I make friends, and choose friends, and ask for things. I am doing a lot better, and I think that if you put your mind to something, it's going to happen. It might not happen in a couple weeks. It'll happen in a long span of time. And since I was a little girl, I wanted to be that girl that was noticed, but not in a bad way. I wanted to be the girl that had people that liked her, but not, like, for certain reasons. Like, I wanted people to like me for me. And finally, I have a couple of those people. I'm not saying that I have met a lot of people here, but that's okay. Like, you start off somewhere. I hope that all of you guys have an amazing day. I give you my blessing, and I give you my heart, and I am expressing this to you because I want all of you guys to learn from experiences, if not your own, mine, and just keep a bright smile on your face. So thank you for watching. That's it for this video. I know it was kind of lengthy. Most of my videos are right now. But I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Tell your friends about me. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.